As we step into 2025, imagine a year of mindfulness, peace, and personal transformation. Inspired by the profound teachings of Gautama Buddha, these 15 resolutions are more than goals. They're a path to enlightenment. Ready to cultivate wisdom, kindness, and inner peace? Let's embark on this journey together. Mindfulness is the foundation of a meaningful life. It is not just about noticing the breath or sitting in meditation. It is about fully engaging with every moment without distraction. When eating, taste every bite. When walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. The present moment is all we truly have, yet our minds often drift to the past or the future. By cultivating mindfulness, we reclaim our awareness, allowing us to see reality as it is, rather than through the lens of attachment or aversion. A mind anchored in the present finds peace even amid chaos. With mindfulness comes the natural practice of loving kindness. Love, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a profound state of being, transforms the way we interact with the world. Loving kindness, or Metta, is an unconditional wish for happiness, first for oneself, then radiating outward to friends, strangers, and even those who challenge us. We train in this through intention and practice. When irritation arises, we pause and replace it with understanding. When frustration takes hold, we soften our hearts instead of hardening them. Loving kindness does not mean passivity. It means choosing compassion over reaction, presence over judgment. Nothing remains the same. This is the essence of impermanence, the truth that all things arise and pass away. Clinging to what is temporary leads to suffering, while embracing change brings freedom. The beauty of a flower lies in its brief existence, and so does the beauty of every experience. Instead of fearing change, we honor it, recognizing that every moment is a gift. A painful experience will pass, a joyful moment will pass. Understanding this, we cherish the present and let go of our desperate attempts to make anything last forever. Our words shape our world. Right speech is the practice of speaking with truth, kindness, and purpose. Before we speak, we ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? Harsh words cause harm, gossip spreads negativity, and falsehoods create confusion. Speaking mindfully means choosing silence when words do not serve, and when we do speak, ensuring our words uplift rather than harm. Communication is not just about speaking, but also about listening deeply, hearing what is beneath the surface. True connection arises when we listen with full presence, without formulating responses while the other person is still speaking. Generosity opens the heart. Giving, when done with sincerity and without expectation, transforms both the giver and the receiver. Generosity is not measured by wealth, but by the willingness to share. A kind word, a listening ear, a moment of time, these are forms of giving as valuable as material gifts. When we give freely without clinging, we cultivate abundance. The more we give, the less we fear scarcity. True generosity is the realization that what we hold on to too tightly often ends up holding us back. Contentment is the antidote to endless striving. The world tells us that happiness lies in acquiring more, achieving more, being more. Yet contentment arises not from having everything, but from appreciating what already exists. This does not mean we abandon ambition, but rather that we recognize the difference between mindful aspiration and restless craving. Gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance. By acknowledging the gifts present in our lives, the breath in our lungs, the people around us, the lessons learned, we cultivate deep and lasting satisfaction. Patience is strength. In a world of instant gratification, patience is often overlooked. Yet true patience is not passive waiting, but active endurance with grace. It is the willingness to let things unfold in their own time without forcing outcomes. When obstacles arise, patience teaches us resilience. When difficulties persist, patience reminds us that nothing is permanent. By surrendering to the natural flow of life, we find peace in the process rather than being consumed by the outcome. Concentration brings clarity. A scattered mind is restless, while a focused mind sees deeply. Concentration is the ability to direct our attention fully to the task at hand, whether in meditation, work, or daily life. When the mind wanders, we gently bring it back. The more we practice, the stronger our focus becomes. In a world of constant distractions, reclaiming our ability to concentrate is an act of self-liberation. With a steady mind, we engage more deeply, love more fully, and understand more clearly. Ethical living is the foundation of a peaceful life. The way we treat others, the choices we make, and the actions we take create the conditions for our well-being. The 5 precepts offer guidance to refrain from harming living beings, from taking what is not given, from harmful speech, from misconduct, and from intoxicants that cloud the mind. Living ethically is not about rigid rules, but about aligning our actions with our highest values. When we act with integrity, we sleep peacefully. When our words and actions are in harmony, we walk through the world with confidence and ease. Wisdom arises from insight. Knowledge alone does not bring peace. Understanding does. True wisdom is seeing beyond appearances, questioning assumptions, and discerning what leads to suffering and what leads to liberation. Wisdom asks us to look deeply into the nature of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It invites us to inquire, what is causing my suffering? What am I clinging to? What can I let go of? With each layer of understanding, we move closer to freedom. Attachments create suffering. We cling to people, possessions, identities, and ideas, believing they define us. But everything changes. Non-attachment does not mean disengagement. It means loving fully without grasping, experiencing deeply without fear of loss. It is holding the world with open hands rather than clenched fists. When we release the illusion of permanence, we find true peace. Relationships flourish when built on love rather than possession. Life flows more smoothly when we do not resist its natural currents. Gratitude transforms perception. It is easy to see what is missing, but gratitude shifts our awareness to what is present. When we recognize the beauty in ordinary moments, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, the breath that sustains us, life becomes abundant. Gratitude is not conditional. It does not wait for perfect circumstances. It is a practice, a way of seeing the world with appreciation rather than expectation. Self-reflection is the path to growth. Without examining our thoughts, habits, and motivations, we remain trapped in unconscious patterns. Taking time to reflect, through meditation, journaling, or simply quiet contemplation, allows us to understand ourselves deeply. Where do we react instead of respond? Where do we resist change? Where do we hold on to fear? Awareness is the first step toward transformation. By looking inward with honesty and without judgment, we gain the power to change. Compassion is wisdom in action. When we see suffering in others, we do not turn away. Compassion is not pity. It is the recognition that all beings wish to be happy and free from suffering, just as we do. It is meeting pain with understanding rather than judgment, responding with kindness rather than indifference. Compassion is not weakness. It is the highest expression of strength. It asks us to move beyond ourselves, to extend our care beyond our immediate circles, and to act for the benefit of all. Change is inevitable. Resisting it only causes suffering. Embracing change allows us to move with life rather than against it. Every experience, joyful or painful, is an opportunity for growth. The seasons shift, the tides turn, and we too evolve. Letting go of rigidity, opening to new possibilities, and accepting the impermanence of all things brings liberation. When we stop fearing change, we find peace in the flow of existence. These resolutions are not distant ideals, but practical paths to a more awakened life. With each mindful breath, each compassionate act, each moment of awareness, we move closer to our true nature, one of peace, clarity, and boundless love. Transformation does not happen in the future. It happens now, in this very moment. And so we walk forward step by step, embracing each lesson, each challenge, each joy, knowing that the path itself is the destination.